What's up, guys? Welcome back to Newswave. Hopefully you had a good weekend overall. Had a lot of fun here. Took a look at the Switchblades. Had a full Spawncast that was a lot of fun. And of course did the Saturday show where we checked out your guys' comments. It was a fun weekend, but back to the week now. And we've got a bunch of stuff to get into today because over the weekend we did see Kingdom Hearts 3 leak out. It's officially out there. I will say this right now before we get into that later on in the show. No spoilers here at all. I just want to bring it to your attention. The most you'll see is just proof that the person is holding the game in their hand, but no spoilers. I've actually gone through them myself to verify it is out there. But there is one good piece of news that sounds like Nomura was, just in case, getting ready for that. We're going to go over this. Guys, one interesting thing here. I didn't know if this was possible, but it might be. I think we're going to shoot for 200,000 subscribers by the end of this year. Recently, over the past week, the channel has picked up heavily, and we've had a lot of traffic come in. A lot of people are subscribing, so yeah, we're going to go for it. 200,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and we'll see if we can get there. As always, guys, if you enjoy these videos, hit the like button. It does help out. We're going to start with some quick news. We're going to start with Discord because we've heard Epic Games kind of taking a shot at Steam and saying, hey, we're going to do an 88-12 split and undercut your 70-30 split by a wide margin just to give developers more reason and incentive to come over to the Epic Game Store. Well, Discord actually started selling games in their own game store in August. And now they're saying, well, we'll do you one better. We're going to do a 90-10 split, and we're going to allow these developers and publishers to self-publish their games. So if you have a developer, they can just self-publish their game, put it on there, and get a 90-10 split. Now, it seems like a lot of these companies are eyeing up Steam and maybe trying to knock them off the mountaintop there. One thing's for certain here, this is where we see competition work to our benefit as gamers, and of course, it's going to benefit developers heavily as now everyone's going to be fighting it out for an undercut or a lower value that they get to then give the developers more. So maybe that 90-10 split, maybe Epic Games goes, all right, we'll do 90-10 as well, it's fine. And then Steam has to start figuring something out there because eventually it's going to make less and less sense for developers to publish on Steam as these other platforms become more popular, more prevalent. Epic Games, they're just going out and getting free agents. They're pulling them in saying, hey, we'll slap you on the front of our store if you come over exclusively to us and not Steam at all. So interesting stuff here. But again, the developers get more money means that they can be stable and then make more games for us. Oh, and for people like me who are big fans of Megaman X, well, some new official concept art was published. Seems to be for the merchandise. However, of course, we all think of Megaman X9 after we saw pretty much the year of Mega Man over this past year with X Collection and, of course, the Legacy Collections, Mega Man 11, and now we're like, can we do X9? Because remember, in X Legacy Collection, they do have a blurb in there in the museum part that says X's fight is not over. Now we see this concept art. They keep kind of poking at Mega Man X in some way, where they're talking about how there's some sort of big game reveal coming up that people from back in the day will really enjoy seeing come back. And myself, and I'm sure many other people, are crossing our fingers hoping for Mega Man X9, but it's clear that they don't want us to forget about Mega Man X even a little bit after they post this kind of stuff on Twitter, and they keep talking about it with the Easter egg in the last game. So I'm hoping Mega Man X9 is a thing and that it's revealed hopefully in 2019. Early to mid 2019 for a late 2019 release would be awesome. Also, the wildly successful PlayStation Classic is now on sale. Target must have a ton of these things. I'm saying that because at my local Walmart, they have a ton of them. They're just in the case stacked up. And there's like, please someone buy this for $100. Target is going a step further and offering it for $75. And it's one of those situations where you got to even put it in your cart to see the price. That is a marketing tactic, obviously a tactic to try to sell it to you. Put it in your cart and we'll tell you what the price is. You're good? All right, go ahead, buy it now. So maybe we should tell the people on eBay that it's $75. No? Okay. We'll just keep laughing at them, I guess. And with some of the quick news out of the way, let's get into bigger stuff. We're going to start with Kingdom Hearts 3. It has been leaked. This, again, is not going to lead to me telling you about the leaks or any of the spoilers that are out there now because there are several clips that the person recorded with their cell phone, it appears, because they do that thing where they record it like vertical and it's really annoying to watch on a widescreen. Anyway, they do have Kingdom Hearts 3, and there is pretty much a story circulating about how this happened. It all seems to come back to essentially 30 copies leaving a distribution center. It appears that they were stolen, and I say appears because we're still waiting for official word from authorities or Square or somebody. They are aware, though, that this has happened. They've built in some countermeasures, one big one in particular, but this person managed to lift these in some way from the distribution center, whether they know someone that works there and they pushed it out the back door to them, or they took a really sharp turn in the truck and it flew out the back. Who knows? Either way, they did post several video clips, and you'll see just an image here of them holding the game. Yes, they do have it. It's on the Xbox One, and then they went and they appeared to sell it on Facebook, or at least attempt to sell it on Facebook. We don't know if any have left their hands. I assume once it was posted, people started calling immediately because they were only selling it for $100. This is leaked out now well in advance of the release date. It's not out for more than a month, and they're selling it on Facebook for $100, and they had 30 copies. The word is that they managed to sell 10 of them, but again, we don't know confirmation on that either. We just know they had several copies and they were looking to move them quickly at $100 a piece, which is honestly, that's a good deal for getting a game over a month in advance. And they seem to have posted it on Facebook with their full name and their location in North Carolina. Why? I don't know. I guess they figure that it's not that serious because it's a video game, but Square is, they're looking to make a lot of money on this, so they want spoilers to remain quiet. They don't want any spoilers out there, so they address this by releasing a statement saying, "We're aware that a small portion of Kingdom Hearts 3 has been circulating online before its official release. We're also aware as to how this has all happened. We're sorry to see this cause concern amongst our fans who are excited for the release. The whole team has been working together since yesterday night Japan time to investigate what we can do to better this situation. But first, we would like to ask that you do not share these videos. The game's epilogue and secret movie, which are the biggest spoilers in the game, are planned to be released at a later date just in case, so they will not be shown before the game's release. We want everyone to be able to equally experience the full game after its release, so we ask for your continued support on this matter. We're also very grateful to our fans, have been warning each other already about the spoilers. Thank you very much." Now, as you can see at the bottom, that's from director Tetsuya Nomura, and it sounds like there's going to be a day one patch that's going to add in the secret ending and the epilogue and movie and everything. So it's not even on the disc. I almost wonder if they planned that there was a possibility of some kind that a leak could happen, and they said, well, let's just have them connect to the internet when they get it. Day one patch, we'll patch in. Or maybe it's already on the disc, but it's locked in some way to where you can't unlock it unless you get the day one patch. In this situation, it's good. Down the road, people might be kind of annoyed by that. However, we're kind of at this point now where everyone connects their stuff to the internet anyway at some point in time, and that probably means before you beat the game, which we assume is very long, you'll want to connect it to the internet to get the day one patch, then unlock the secret ending in the movie. It's a shame to see this happen, and it happens a lot recently, right? Smash Bros. Massive, massive leak, and it was dumped on the internet. It seems like this person doesn't really know how to do that, so maybe it won't happen and get dumped on the internet and then data mined, and the fact that they're confident that the secret movie isn't available to even maybe data mined tells me that it's probably not on that disc at all and it's going to be an update. So some people are probably really happy about that because that means the biggest part of the game, the big ending, the big reveal, I guess say, isn't going to be leaked. So that's good news. A shame to see this happen, but let me know what you guys think about Kingdom Hearts 3 getting leaked. Are you really concerned now? Because there are still spoilers out there, okay? I'm not telling you to go out there and just walk in the forums and threads that say Kingdom Hearts 3 spoilers, because that means they're actually talking about spoilers that exist on the internet. So look out. Also, don't distribute the links because it seems like Square is looking for them actively. Just know they are out there. People are talking about them, and get the blinders on for a month and a half. This is a shame. Next up, let's talk about some of the MPD numbers that are going to be released later on. However, the person that keeps basically putting out the information ahead of time, Magic Pork on Reset Era, who's been right every time pretty much, put out some numbers. They put it out as Pokedex entries, and everyone pretty quickly figured out that the Pokemon that they linked there are Pokedex entries and tells us what percentage was what and what led what. It looks like the PlayStation 4 was the #1 selling hardware in terms of revenue because that's how the MPD is ranked, and then the Switch, and then the Xbox One. However, it seems like it was very, very close, like extremely close, within 10% from the console at the bottom, which was the Xbox, and the console at the top, which was the PlayStation 4. It sounds like the Switch and the Xbox One are exceptionally close, and that the top selling games were, as you would figure, Pokemon Let's Go, Red Dead Redemption 2, and Black Ops 4, right? That makes complete sense there. We had some numbers kind of thrown around, which put us at like PlayStation 4, which was 1.478 million units, the Switch at 1.356 million, and the Xbox One at 1.342. What's interesting about this whole situation is year on year, the Switch is the only one that has grown, and that's grown 75%. All the other systems, that's including the 3DS and other, which should be Super Nintendo and Nintendo Classic, have all dropped. The 3DS is minus 39%, PS4 at minus 13%, Xbox One at minus 3%, and then the other, which is Super Nintendo, Nintendo Classic, minus 6%. So the Switch grew mostly because of, go figure, Pokemon Let's Go. It makes sense as we would expect. And then, of course, it should grow fairly healthy amounts in December, since last year there was Xenoblade. I think that was just Xenoblade. It's nothing like Smash. Smash is something else. I can't believe, by the way, that Nintendo has not released any type of press release for Smash, because Smash has some ridiculous numbers going on right now, as we're realizing with other regions that we can actually get information from, but they're not telling us anything else. So I'm curious there, but yes, the Switch is still rising in sales as we'd expect as these first-party titles come out, but the PlayStation 4, which, I mean, everyone probably has a PS4, because keep in mind, this includes Black Friday, when that Spider-Man bundle was $200. So you would expect it to sell well, but still, we're getting that point at the end of the PS4. Sony realizes it. No PlayStation experience, no E3. They're getting ready for next generation, and I think the numbers are kind of showing that a bit. And our last bit of news, let's actually talk about Nintendo still fighting against piracy. We know this happened with Smash Bros. We definitely know Nintendo realized this, because when they changed their creators program around, pretty much getting rid of it, one of the outlines was that you can't be using pirated software at all, or they'll come after you. They'll copyright strike you. They might even lawsuit. You know, it's hard to say. But one thing that we're starting to see them do, which the movie industry has been doing for a long, long time, same with music, is actually working together with ISPs and trying to figure out if you are downloading illegally obtained games, much like this happens with music and movies. So if you don't know, if you use like a torrent site and you download a hot new movie that's being distributed online, and they have companies out there that are looking for it, and they find you, whether it's you're downloading from someone or you're sending information to them because you have it and you're on your computer and you're seeding people, they'll send an email to your ISP, your internet service provider, and then they will alert you that they've been contacted about illegal activity when it comes to copyright material. Nintendo was apparently doing this because a person actually posted online on 4chan with a very official-looking document. It was passed around everywhere, and I don't doubt this is happening, mostly because it makes a lot of sense, because of course Nintendo would do something like this, because they are very, very protective of their IPs, and it seems like the Smash Bros thing really woke them up. However, as you're seeing here, this actually has more to do with Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, as the person was actually downloading it, and this is from Spectrum, who is an ISP, internet service provider here, and yeah, that's kind of where we are. So this is more so for people who are thinking about just downloading pirated copies online of different games that Nintendo sells. They're looking for people right now, okay? Now, that doesn't mean you'll get caught, because a lot of people will use different things like VPNs and they'll try to reroute their address and everything all over the place to mask it, but Nintendo's looking. So how people get concerned about downloading music illegally, or movies even, because those companies will find you at times, not every time, but sometimes, we're going to get to that point where people are going to think about that for games, especially with the digital era coming up, where it's all digital. Nintendo's going to be looking. So if you go around downloading this stuff, you might get an email. I also wonder what action they would take, because a lot of times they'll send these to you to scare you, but if you're a repeat offender, I wonder if eventually Nintendo will threaten against the ISP, who then sometimes will cut you off. They'll just say, we can't do business with you anymore, we're taking our modem back. That's the way it is. I don't know if Nintendo would actually pursue a person if they've downloaded a couple of them, but maybe if you could just keep downloading them and the ISP keeps letting you have internet, maybe they would eventually bring something against that person, like a lawsuit, or they sue them. Who knows? We've seen Nintendo really go after some people recently. Sony has as well. We saw it online where they were selling a PlayStation 4, for example, with tons of games loaded up. Same with like Nintendo doing that with someone who was selling like Super Nintendo, Nintendo Classics, and a Switch. It wouldn't shock me if Nintendo, or even a Sony, went after them. And ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it here for Newswave. If you enjoyed this video, guys, hit the like button. It does help out. If not, hit the dislike. Leave comments down below about everything we talked about here, whether it's Kingdom Hearts 3 being leaked. Are you frustrated? I know a lot of fans were frustrated. People were really annoyed that all of these leaked out. One person appears to have stolen them, and then we're selling them off at $100 a piece. And that's a very low price since we saw Mario Party sell for $7 grand a week before release. $100 for a game a month and a half before release? A lot of people they're going to be getting in on that. Let me know what you guys think about that down below. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you get subscribed for all gaming news, technology teardowns. Have a lot of fun. I'll see you guys next time.